You know, as many times as you might try, you cannot save a person from themselves. Sometimes when a person is a child and they are so spoiled, when they become an adult, there's no way you can reverse that. What's done is done. Now, sometimes if a person decides they want to date a person, let's say your sister had an interest in a person and your sister lost interest, and you say, you know, sis, did you date that person? Because, you know, they're showing some form of a connection here with me, and I want to know. And, oh, no, go ahead, girl. But when a person doesn't even so much as ask, and they think that they're practicing deception behind your back, you can sense certain things and you can feel certain things. And I would have given the blessing if it were willing to be the blessing. Because I would never recommend a person who is not of quality for a sibling or even a friend. Not even an enemy would I recommend. But some things you let go. So you let everything be. Move forward. You move forward because you know that that person was not worth your time. But yet your sister or maybe even a friend might say, oh, I can steal him from her when she already let that thing go. So they decide to do this and find out that at the last minute or when it's too late, that the very person that you thought that you were stealing from someone else, you're sharing with the whole neighborhood. Now, if you'd asked someone's advice, they would have told you this. Or if you just sat and observed, you would have saw it. Or if you sat in quiet, in silence, you would have felt it. How about that? You would have felt it. So, sometimes when you are jealous or envious of other people, you find yourself doing so much deception, trying to work behind the person's back, and you think the person would not pick up on this. And now you're pulling other people into it. You cannot save yourself by pulling everyone down into the gutter with you. You have to be mindful of who you help. Everyone cannot be helped. And let me tell you something else. If God wanted that person to be helped, that person should be trying to help themselves as well. But the person comes to you for help, and all you see is their tears. So you go and help them. Now you find yourself under the same rock that they couldn't find themselves coming from under. Let us be mindful of those people we help. Even when you pray to God, you should be asking God for that help. Or you should be asking the people who are coming to help. You should be asking God to show you, to reveal the truth to you. Because if you help that person and you find yourself in the same swarm of webs that they're in, the two of you are going to be fighting, and that person is not going to be fighting in your honor. Stevie Wonder came up with the song, There's superstition, writing on the wall. Remember that song? If you don't, you might want to listen to it. This person has attempted and has unalived so many people in the darkest of ways I didn't even think were imaginable. Putting ladders in different spell work so that the person can't climb up out of the dirt that you put them in. This family, whew, Lord have mercy on those souls. But I don't know if I should even say that, because they saw what they were doing. They're only upset because they could get in court. And they're only upset because what's going on right now is God is now judging them and allowing them to fall. Can't get up out of this one. People going, there was a woman who used to get on the plane and help her sister pack up all her stuff, clean up the apartment, pack up all her stuff in her car, drive all the way back. She barely wanted to spend any time with her sister during that summer. No problem. But then she butter her up because school was coming. So she go and do the same process, help her. But she never returned or reciprocated half of that help. No problem. The sister would still forgive her and love, because love is pure. You don't judge another person. You love another person. Now, these things happen even with friendships. Even with you stealing from your mother's purse and having your mother think it was your stepsister because she was already not liking her in the first place. You see, people can continue to play the same games, but in the end, the laundry has got to be cleaned up. God has got to balance it out, because you continuously do the same things, hurting people. It says you'll hurt yourself. If you just prayed and talked to God about it, He will give you the answers. But you did so much at this point. The jealousy of your friends, the way that you handled that friend, the way that you hurt that friend by hurting her husband. You know, in life, we all have to learn certain lessons. In life, we all have to grow. And if we are not growing, then other things are going to have to take place. Now, I would hate to even have to send such a message, but it's a wake-up call for so many other people. Because when you are around a certain individual and you know that they're doing dirt, you see, the parents will look at that person and say, oh, my baby wouldn't do that. My child is innocent. My child is a saint. The minute you think your child is a saint, you need to pull yourself back. Allow your child to be a person. We are all earthlings. We're all, well, most of us are anyway, right? We're all on this platform, on this earth, to learn and to grow. The minute that you look at your child and hold them up on the pedestal, it's almost like you're worshiping them. Allow that child to do and be who they are. Allow them and grow and learn in the experience. Because the same people who said, oh, my aunt was always talking and bringing her daughter up and doing this, you fall into the same line. You did the same thing. Or my mother, she ruined that boy because she spoiled him so badly. You're doing the same thing, did the same thing. Let's stop judging other people, but at the same time, take responsibility for our own actions. Now, here it is. So many different examples. When I step away from a job, when I step away from a person, it is for a valid reason. And trust and believe, by the time I left, it was already too late. I should have left much sooner. Take a lesson from someone else so that you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. You love your family, but sometimes you got to separate because they are pulling you down. You don't let a person pull you down so far to the ground that you cannot find your way up. So, I leave this message, and I hope that you will learn to love yourself, because it is a lovely thing when you can be the you that you need to be and want to be and strive to be, the one that God wants you to be. How about that?